Let us look at Article 12, Paragraph 5 of the India-USA Treaty. And this deals with FIS exclusion. Right? Now, what does this mean? This means that although fee for included services for the purpose of Article 12, Paragraph 4 is to be considered according to the terms of that particular clause, right? But these specific services, even if otherwise they would have been covered under Paragraph 4, are to be excluded from the purpose of ascertaining what is FIS, right? Notwithstanding Paragraph 4, which means that this overrides Paragraph 4. Fee for included services does not include amounts paid, okay? And then there are a list of services. Let's go through them one by one. For services that are ancillary and subsidiary, as well as inextricably and essentially linked to the sale of a property other than a sale described in paragraph 3A. Now, what this means is that if I'm, let's say, for example, selling an equipment, right? Payment for the right to use an equipment amounts to royalty. But if I sell an equipment and I provide some services in relation to installation of that equipment. Now, these installation services are actually ancillary and subsidiary, as well as inextricably and essentially linked to the sale of property. Because if I do not install a particular property, the buyer may not be interested in purchasing that equipment, right? Therefore, providing these services is an essential part of sale of property. But with sale, other than a sale which is described in paragraph 3A. So you should first see what are the sales which are referred to in paragraph 3A, and if a sale is other than the sale referred to in paragraph 3A, and the services which are rendered are ancillary and subsidiary, as well as inextricably and essentially linked to such sale, it will be excluded. Second, for services that are ancillary and subsidiary to the rental of the ships, aircraft, containers, or other equipment used in connection with the operation of ships or aircraft in international traffic. Now, there's a separate code, whether it be in terms of the taxation, okay, of the person who's providing ships or operating ships in international traffic, or the employee thereof, right? Now, similarly, even the services which are rendered in connection with the rental of ships or aircrafts or containers, etc., are to be excluded from fee for included services, provided they are ancillary and subsidiary to the rental of such equipments as are referred to in a particular treaty. For teaching in or by educational institution. So if a teacher is teaching in an education institution, they are getting some fees. It will not amount to FIS. Or if there is an educational institution which is providing some fees, that will not amount to FIS. For services for the personal use of the individual or individuals making the payment. If the consumption is, let's say, for example, by an individual of a contracting state, right? And he's taking it for a personal use, not for business use. If an individual is running a sole proprietorship, he's taking some services for business purposes, that is something which is going to get covered under FIS, provided the other conditions are satisfied. But if these services are for personal use, then they will not amount to FIS. To an employee of the person making the payment, so if a company is making a payment to its employee, right, for the services that he is doing, obviously that's income from employment. That will be covered under Dependent Personal Services Clause, or to any individual or firm of individuals other than a company for professional services as defined in Article 15. So if any particular income is covered under Article 15 and a payment is made to an individual or a firm of individual, that will not come out to FIS under the India-USA Treaty.